In the heart of Europe, Hungary has made a historic move, joining the BRICS bloc, led by China and Russia. This makes Hungary the first EU member to align with a group often seen as a counterweight to the West. The decision is the result of a decade-long Eastern opening, transforming Hungary into a hub for Chinese investment. In 2023, China became Hungary's largest foreign investor, with over 10 billion euros in new projects, especially in electric vehicles and batteries. Politically, Hungary has become a dissenting voice within the EU, often siding with China. Joining BRICS is not just symbolic. It cements a deep economic and political partnership. This script will explore Hungary's journey from Soviet satellite to EU member, and now to a multi-aligned state. We'll examine the motivations, the economic benefits, and the risks of this pivot. Hungary's government claims this path ensures sovereignty and prosperity. Critics warn it could isolate Hungary from its democratic allies and draw it closer to authoritarian powers. Hungary's leap into BRICS is a bold bet on the future of the global order. Hungary's past is marked by foreign domination, from the Treaty of Trianon to Soviet control after World War II. The 1956 revolution's brutal suppression left a lasting scar, fueling a longing for sovereignty. The fall of the Berlin Wall brought liberation, and Hungary eagerly joined NATO in 1999 and the EU in 2004. Early years in the EU were marked by optimism and a consensus that Hungary's future lay with the West. But the 2008 financial crisis and subsequent IMF bailout sparked disillusionment as austerity measures felt imposed from outside. Disputes with Brussels over rule of law and migration deepened, with Budapest framing EU criticism as an attack on national sovereignty. This friction set the stage for Hungary's Eastern opening, not as a rejection of the West, but as a pragmatic diversification. The goal: reclaim policy space and act as a bridge between East and West. Hungary's journey from Soviet satellite to EU member and now BRICS partner reflects a deep desire for sovereignty. This historical context explains the appeal of a multi-aligned future. The Eastern opening, launched in 2010, aimed to diversify Hungary's partnerships beyond the West. China quickly became the centerpiece, offering capital, technology, and market access as Europe's economy stagnated. Hungary positioned itself as China's gateway to the EU, welcoming investment with few political strings attached. This alignment gave Hungary leverage in Brussels, signaling it had powerful alternatives. Hungary often blocked EU criticism of China, while Beijing offered political support and non-interference. The relationship was elevated to a comprehensive strategic partnership, backed by major projects and high-level engagement. For Hungary, China became a vital partner in its quest for autonomy and modernization. This set the stage for Hungary's eventual leap into BRICS. Chinese investment has transformed Hungary's economy, especially in high-tech sectors like electric vehicle batteries. By 2024, Hungary was the top recipient of Chinese FDI in Central and Eastern Europe. CATL's massive battery gigafactory and BYD's first European car plant are creating tens of thousands of jobs. These projects are shifting Hungary's industrial base toward future technologies and boosting regional development. Infrastructure projects, like the Budapest-Belgrade Railway, further integrate Hungary into China's Belt and Road Initiative. While critics warn of debt and transparency risks, the government touts economic growth and low unemployment as proof of success. The partnership has made Hungary indispensable in Europe's green transition. However, deep dependence on China brings political risks and questions about sovereignty. Despite concerns, the economic benefits have driven Hungary to deepen ties and join BRICS. For Budapest, this is the logical next step in its Eastern strategy. Hungary's entry into BRICS in 2025 is its boldest move yet, signaling a break from exclusive Western alignment. BRICS, now expanded, represents a major voice for the Global South and an alternative to Western-led institutions. For Hungary, BRICS membership opens access to vast markets and the new development bank, reducing reliance on EU and IMF funds. Politically, Hungary gains a unique position as the only EU member in BRICS, boosting its diplomatic weight. The government frames this as a victory for sovereignty and a signal to Brussels that Hungary has powerful friends beyond the West. But the move complicates Hungary's commitments to NATO and the EU, especially given BRICS includes Russia and China. Hungary must now balance conflicting obligations. How will it vote when EU and BRICS interests clash? This high-risk, high-reward strategy will test the limits of Hungary's multi-alignment. The world is watching to see if Hungary can truly bridge East and West. Its BRICS gambit will define its global role for years to come. Hungary, before 2010, was deeply tied to Western Europe, especially Germany, with a pro-Western foreign policy. The economy relied on Western supply chains, making it vulnerable to Eurozone cycles. After the Eastern opening, China became a powerful economic anchor, driving a shift to e-mobility and battery tech. Politically, Hungary transformed from a model EU member to a frequent dissenter, openly cultivating ties with EU rivals. The pivot brought economic growth and policy autonomy, but also eroded trust with traditional allies. Hungary is now seen as an outlier, with access to some EU funds frozen and its influence within the bloc diminished. Its close ties to China and Russia have raised alarms, especially amid Russia's war in Ukraine. Hungary's new path has created a complex, often contradictory international identity. The country now navigates permanent tension between its Western commitments and Eastern ambitions. Hungary's BRICS membership presents the EU with an unprecedented challenge. The EU's unity depends on shared values and a common foreign policy. Hungary's alignment with BRICS undermines both. Hungary has used its veto to block EU actions against Russia and China, frustrating other members and weakening the bloc's credibility. Chinese investment in Hungary gives Beijing tariff-free access to the EU, raising fears of a Trojan horse inside the single market. The EU faces a tough choice: accommodate Hungary's unique path, risking fragmentation, or take a harder line and risk pushing Hungary further away. Either way, Hungary's actions force the EU to confront the limits of its cohesion. The dilemma is not just about Hungary, it's a test of the European project itself. The future of EU unity may hinge on how it responds to this internal challenge. Hungary's pivot is a symbol of a new, multipolar world, where nations refuse to choose sides. The post-Cold War era of Western dominance is over. Countries now pursue interest-driven, flexible foreign policies. Hungary's partnership with China and BRICS membership weakens Western alliance cohesion and creates exploitable divisions. For NATO, Hungary's dual allegiance raises questions about trust, intelligence sharing, and strategic planning. If Hungary can balance EU, NATO, and BRICS ties, others may follow, accelerating the fragmentation of traditional alliances. The West may need to adapt, moving toward a more flexible model that accommodates diverse interests. Hungary's story signals that global alliances are being redefined. The world is watching to see if the West can adjust to this new reality. Hungary is not just an outlier. It's a blueprint for a changing international system. Hungary's journey from Western ally to BRICS pioneer is a defining story of our era. Decades of seeking sovereignty and economic opportunity led to the Eastern opening and a flood of Chinese investment. Hungary now stands with one foot in the West and one in the East, leveraging both for maximum advantage. This strategy has brought economic gains but strained ties with traditional allies and tested Western unity. Hungary's actions force the EU and the West to confront a new, more complex world order. The era of clear-cut allegiances is over. Nations now build diverse partnerships to serve their own interests. Hungary's bold experiment will be watched closely. Will it be a model for pragmatic statecraft or a cautionary tale? As Hungary navigates these uncharted waters, its fate may foreshadow the future of global diplomacy.